back to the DIY Les Paul. All finished sanding, down to 2000 grit. Everything's nice and smooth, no imperfections. So now I'm getting ready to polish. I'll show you what I use. Turn this damn screen around again. Okay, so ready to polish. I just cleaned up all my pads. This is what I use. This is all Forekla products. This is a finishing pad. Okay, it's got a really nice, I mean, you couldn't, this is good for finishing because you're not going to take any edges off. It'll bring the shine out at the end. This is more of a cut polish pad here. You see it's kind of pretty thick. Okay, this is for like basically a cutting compound. And this is what I use. I got a Makita. I don't have a, you know, a polisher like a big commercial polisher like they do in the factories and stuff like that. But this is what I used. You need, if you're going to use something like this, you have to have a variable speed, because this is something you want to be doing at a real slow speed. Otherwise, you're going to end up with either that, you're going to catch an edge, guitar's going to go flying on the ground, or you're going to burn through, or something like that. You don't want that. First thing I'm going to use, Forekla product. It's a G3. Okay, sometimes I use this, and I also have a paste, which actually I think that's what I'm going to use. But this is a little bit more liquid form. So G3. Okay, then I got two other compounds here. I think I'm only going to use the one. This will be my finishing. Be a G10 by Forekla. Okay, this is all automotive stuff, but it works real good. Okay, then I got a Carb-Rite product here. This is also real good for, depending on the pad you have, you can use this for almost pretty much, it's like a 3-in-1 type thing. But it depends what I'm doing. Need a real nice microfiber cloth. Okay, applicator, that's for when we start waxing later. And then I got another microfiber here. This is more of a, once you're done with the, you know, when you're applicating the wax and stuff like that, there's a real soft side and there's a little bit more rough side. So you can clean the wax off real quick, and then you can use your microfiber here to do a final buff on it, stuff like that. So I'm not sure here. I forgot about my, I don't know what I did with my G3 here on my paste. I must have it in the house. So I guess I'll use this. This will be okay too. Okay, so what I do, just want to make sure this nozzle's clean here, because a lot of times they're plugged up. Okay. So all you want to do is I just took the nozzle off here. I'm going to put it back on, see if it squirts out or not. Nope, it doesn't squirt out. She's a little bit plugged. There. So I just took the nozzle right off. So basically what I do, I just put a little bit on the pad here. Come on. Kind of like this, okay? And then take your finger, spread it around, okay? You don't want this stuff flying everywhere, making a mess. Okay, so just something like that. And I already cleaned the pad, and then I spun it to get the water out of it. Okay, so that you don't want water coming off of there when you're, it just needs to be a little bit, you know, a little moisture in it. Okay, and then you just need enough of this to get you going here. Okay, and that's all you need. That's how you put that on. Then I got it on number 1 here. Now later on I'm going to get one of my girls to come and hold this. This is, you know, once you get to the edges and stuff, you want somebody to hold it for you. But I'm going to do the top, and then I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like. Okay? So here we go, number 1. Speed number 1. So basically you just kind of go like this. You see how it's moving around? It's because I got It's because I got a plastic bag there. It's a little bit slippery. But that's all you want to do, just like that. And you know, you don't want to keep it too flat, a little bit off to one side. And this is just so you can get the compound worked around it nicely here. Okay? And always work your way so the pad is spinning away from the edge. If you're going like this, and it's going this way into the edge, you're gonna hook it and then your guitar is gonna go flying. So you always want to go away from the edge, like this. Okay? Kind of like that. So, and then once you start working this material in, okay, now over here, I can't really go away from the edge, so you're gonna have to be very gentle. Kind of like so. Okay? Really slow. Kind of like that. It's just right here, I can't go away from the edge, otherwise I'd have the pad like this, right? But over here I can, as you can see. Okay? And that's why I was saying don't sand into the corner, because if you can see it up close here, you can see that it doesn't get right into the corner, so you want to keep that shiny in there. Don't sand it. Okay, so there's enough on here now. Okay, and there's enough moisture in the pad that I should be able to get this pretty much. I might have to do it one more round, but I should be able to get the majority of this done on this round here. Now there are different products, like you can get Meguiar's, you can get, again, 3M makes products. There's all kinds of polishing products out there. But I've been using this Forecla works really good. You don't want to spin this. You see how slow I'm going here? Like I've got it on number 1 and I'm at about a quarter speed on number 1. I don't have the trigger depressed all the way. You know. So just work it around like this. Okay. Like I say, this lacquer will buff out really easy. It's not like if I was using a urethane automotive finish, I'd have to put a little bit of heat to it. You know, this lacquer, you don't have to do that. Not as much. It comes to a shine pretty fast. So once you got it worked in, and if you see anything coming off the edge, just wipe it off. Okay? Kind of like so. And I've got the fretboard taped up. I don't want the compound getting onto the wood. It'll be hard to clean, right? And this is all there is to it. I mean, you can do this by hand. Like this G3, this is a cutting compound, right? It's got a little bit of abrasive in it. And then I'll go over it with the G10 after. And then you'll see how nice the gloss comes out in the depth. And then once it's all done, then we'll get into waxing it. Usually I just use like a Carnauba wax. You can still see, like, there's lots of compound, lots of moisture. Just work it around. Okay. And that's why you don't want to go fast. You go too fast, you get too anxious, and then you have big problems. Like I say, I've got a lot of experience doing this, so I can go on the edge here. I kind of know, you know, you got to kind of know how much pressure you're putting on here. Get a feel for it. I mean, in the factory they use those great big wheels, right? It's kind of more of a dry polish, and but I'm not set up for that kind of stuff. I mean, if I was doing this every day, I'd probably get something like that, but it's not really necessary. A little overkill for what I'm doing. And I can speed it up a little bit. And then if you find sometimes that it becomes a little bit dry, you can use your little spritz, like a little spray bottle with a little soap and water, and just give it just a tiny spritz, and then it'll lube it up again for you. Like I said, I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm kind of got pretty much just the weight of the polisher on it, and that's about it. You don't want it to grab, and then your guitar is going to go flying. And you don't need to be applying a whole bunch of pressure. Just let it do the work for you. Okay. Just kind of like so. And that's all there is to it. Just keep working it around. If you kind of, squeeze the edge, you'll get a little moisture out of it. So you can do this. It's not hard. There is a little skill involved because you got to know, it's one of those things you learn. If you do a few of these, you'll get kind of the idea. I mean, you can use, there are some little, which I do have, you can get those little, like from Mac Tools or something like that. You can get the little angle, the orbital buffers, or just just an actual polisher. You can get those, but they're air. I kind of hate using air because you got a bulky air line to contend with. I hate that. But sometimes they work good for like little corners or something like that. You can also use that. You can see like the compound's starting to kind of go away now. Once you got it all worked in, and you'll get to a point where it'll start to gloss up on you. I really hope that my camera doesn't shut off because I'm on my SD card is full and I'm on my just my memory on the camera, so hopefully I get to show you this here. I mean, I have polished some of these by hand before. It takes a while. I've also applied lacquer by hand, like with a foam brush. That actually works pretty good too. If you don't have a means to spray or whatever, you can apply it by hand. You use those little 1.5 or 2 inch foam brushes, or 3 inch, whatever, and then you can do it that way. It works pretty good. There's more than one way to do this kind of stuff, so. Okay, now I can start to see the gloss. Once you see the gloss coming out, you kind of know that your compound's starting to dry up. And then you can clean it, see what you got. And she's starting to look good. This is kind of the exciting part, guys? You get into this stage here. So I'll be done the polishing today here, and then I can start to get do some videos getting this thing back together. Okay, now I don't know if I got my. I'll have to see here if I got that or not. I think I do. So I got this here. You can use, this is a Carbo Finish it's called. There's also another one, it's called the Final Wipe by Meguiar's. And it's just to clean the compound off. And then, so you can get back down to your original surface. Now I'm going to use towel for this, but once I get more into the... Okay, that's why I want to wipe the edge here, because sometimes you get some over the edge, it pulls the compound back in. It makes a mess. And we don't want that. You know. And you can use soap and water for this too. It's no big deal. You don't need, you know, every little product. You can use soap and water. You might have to have a bottle that has a little higher concentration of soap to get the, just to get the compound off of here. See, it's still a little bit murky. Just flip this over. Yeah, I like the actually the Meguiar's, the Final Wipe one. It's called, or Final Inspection. That's what it's called. But I actually ran out of that. I don't think I have any more of that. I think I ran out. The Final Inspection from Meguiar's will clean this up really nice. See, this one here is still a little bit greasy. I'm not liking it. That's why I still have some of that stuff. So I think I'm going to use some water instead. And then see what we got here. Oh yeah. It's looking good. It's, yeah, she's starting to look deep now. So that's the thing, once we're done this step here, and I can go over it with my G10 with a fine pad, and it'll bring that gloss right out. Like, you know, you could leave it like this if, you know, you got it polished down properly. You can totally leave it to this step because it looks good. But I like to just, it only takes a minute to use the G10 on it, and then it looks fantastic. But yeah, this is looking good. Looking good. Oh yeah. Woo! Man, that looks good. That looks good. I keep pulling up compound from this freaking switch hole here. There's a little bit on the edge. No biggie. But yeah, it looks really good, guys. This thing looks deep. Really nice. Okay, and if you have to, you can't go on the edges here and just use a little compound and just rub it by hand. You know, you can totally do that. You know, just to make sure that it looks consistent everywhere, right? There you go. Okay. Now there's a little bit of smearing from me rubbing it and stuff, but I'll show you what this looks like. So this is only the first step. Okay? Like, look at this thing. It's crazy, man. It's beautiful. Where's that? There it is. Okay. There we go, see? You follow the light there, you can see there's no blemishes, there's no imperfections, nothing. It looks really, really good. Okay, so that's how that's done. Now, just gonna wipe this off here. Once I get down to the end, I think I'm just gonna use a nice clean towel down on here, so it doesn't move around as much either, right? Now, I can pull this pad off of here. Put this and this here, like these are Velcro, the backing pads are Velcro. Okay, so this one's ready to go. That's why I like this Forecla system. They're pretty easy. I'm just going to spin it under my table here. Get any water because it's still pretty wet. Okay, that's still pretty wet. Spin that a little more. Okay, G10. You can see how fast that G3 cut, and that's the liquid one. Actually, I'm going to shake this up a bit here. Make sure these are shaken up if they've been sitting a while. Otherwise, you're just going to get a bunch of liquid on the front. Okay, same application. Oh, see, this one's a little more liquidy. This is more of a finishing. So that's all I did. See. Okay, that's all you need on here. This is just a finishing. For finishing, so we're not trying to cut polish it. We're just trying to get a little bit of the marring and stuff from the G3, and this will bring the shine right out. You can see, like, this is pretty wet right now. You know, after this goes away, then the pad will start drying up. But this is a little bit wet because I haven't used it since I washed it, so it's still pretty wet. Same process, just go real slow, work it in. But this pad is so smooth and fine that it's not going to damage anything. So you don't have to be, you know, you can kind of be in the corners a little bit more without worrying too much about it. But with this G10, you can do like a large surface if you're doing a car or something like that. This will take the swirls right out and everything. This is a fantastic product. And this G10 is discontinued, unfortunately. My supplier, I bought the last one that he had, and he can't even get me anymore. But you can get, there is other products that Forecla makes that you can still use. But you can see I can go right over top of here and not going to damage anything on the cavities, stuff like that now. Okay, this will get more into the corner because the pad will flex a little more. Okay, you can totally see there's too much water in this pad. So on the next, like I say, once it dries up on the next round here, once I start doing the back, it'll be a lot. But I got enough to do both sides here with this, that's for sure. And you can see I'm not making a mess. It's not splashing everywhere. Okay, you don't need to be making a mess everywhere with this stuff, right? Some people got, you know, some people got these things full blast and then it's spraying all over the place, make a hell of a mess everywhere. No reason for that. Shouldn't have any mess. Like, there's no splatter even on my plastic here. And I could probably clean this right now and it would be fine. It's just there's too much product on here right now. It's starting to dry up now a little bit. I'm surprised my camera's still going. So I'm going to clean this off because I'm pretty sure that's going to be good. It's just there's too much product on here right now. So this might be a little bit messy here. So I'm going to wet my towel here a little bit and just wipe some of this down. Well, I'll tell you what, this is looking good. This is looking good. I mean, the thing is, once I get this done, I'll put some wax on. When I put it together, there might be a few little bit of, handprints and marring, and then I'll have to probably go over it with some wax again, just at the very end. Because you're going to be touching it and moving it and this and that. Okay. And you can really see now what kind of depth it has with this G10. Way, way better. Like I say, the G3 has a good shine, but this just magnifies it and makes it even deeper. Yeah, this is totally unbelievable. Beautiful. Beautiful. Kind of like so. Okay, and I'm going to go over it one more time with a clean one here. I should be using a microfiber, but I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to do the front and the back, and then I'll give it a final, and then wax it. So I know it's going to get a little marred up just from putting it back together. We're putting it together. It hasn't been together yet. I guess I could have dry fitted everything, but that's okay. Kind of like so. Like that. And if you keep your towel, this is paper towel that I get, it's Body Shop stuff. It's like one of these. Alright. If you just kind of keep it damp, slightly damp, it won't leave any marks. And that's about it. Alright, I'll show you guys what this looks like. Oh, my buddy's here. Look at this shine, hey guys? Woo! Is that deep? Look at that light. So that's it. So I'm going to leave it at that. And thanks for watching Guitar Rat. And I'll be back when I'm putting it together. Stay in tune, guys.